time it's gonna be, but I know I'm waiting for you.
Yeah,
In times,
we wanna go home.
yeah.
Woke up this morning with a song on my heart. You get all praises. Yeah.
Please, Abba, come through, we need
They
you.
like, Rock, what's the mission? What you do it for? What's the objective? Aki, what's the plan? There's one answer for the questions they ask.
What's that?
Fear the Most High and do His commands. We just wanna go home. Take us back, cause Abba, it ain't no love where we at. Not complaining, we did this to ourselves, but we'll never make it back without your help. We wanna go home.
Jerusalem, I wanna see that holy city. Mount Moriah, when you return, hope you don't forget me. It's desolate, the wall is broken, the roads is empty. Foxes running up the hills, the temple used to be here. A tourist attraction in the land. The tour guide said these people made their father mad, so we scattered them and overthrew the kingdom they once had. They rejected his commands, now they down bad. Pronouns, bywords, outcasts, Sabbaths and Jubilees, we fell short of our task. Tears in my eyes, Abba, give us one more chance. Nevertheless, your will be done. I can't supersede your plan. Daniel 9:24, the prophets knew in advance. Recompense, he put it on the shoulders of one man. Nails in his hand, he gon' gather us again. What day and what hour, I don't know.
They like, Rock, what's the mission? What you do it for? What's the objective? Aki, what's the plan? There's one answer for the questions they ask. Fear the Most High and do His commands. We just wanna go home. Take us back, cause Abba, it ain't no love where we at. Not complaining, we did this to ourselves, but we'll never make it back without your help. We wanna go home. Just when they thought we was defeated, that's when He showed up. You should've seen it. And without you, I know that I wouldn't make it. You get all praise, you deserve it all. He said, let there be light, and He lit up the darkness.
Yes, he did.
Hey, our Father in heaven, creator of all things, the author and perfecter of our faith. We wanna go home.
400 years later, fringes on our border, the Torah on the table. Judah still mourneth, the gates still languish. We finding ourselves, relearning our language, and it ain't no stopping it. Dry bones rise again, do the commands. If they say opposite, that ain't who the Father sent. Hearing well done is an accomplishment. Take this crown, welcome home. I was with you all along.
That's the mission, that's the objective, that's the plan. Just a lost sheep trying to get back to my lane. Green pastures, that's what I'm after. I wanna go home.
Yeah. I wanna thank the Most High for taking the things of the world off of my shoulders.
Let me put some hot sauce on that thing real quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Father. Look, you made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. I want wisdom, understanding. I don't want no Grammy. I wanna live a righteous life with a righteous family. I want a wife that love you more than she love me. Wanna show my people that they royalty. Wanna live by your commands, on your word we stand. I'd rather be touching scriptures than touching these banks. The riches gon' profit nothing in a day of wrath. I was living in my mess, I had to take a bath. Creating me a clean heart, Abba made me pure. The things of the world, y'all, it's time to ignore. I want love, I want peace, I want everlasting life. Well done, my good and faithful servant, walking in that light. I'm on this narrow path, trying to save a soul. I want my people in Jerusalem, the days of old. I wanna get to the homeless, show them that He care. I wanna get a homeless, hope we almost out of here. Gave your example through your your son, and it's the only way. Ain't no pagans over here, we keepin' holy days. I want my people stop the killing, we dropping the prophets. I want us come back to the laws, it ain't no other option. Don't want no hate up in my heart, not over no doctrine. I want the fruits of the spirit, y'all could keep the nonsense. I had to renew my mind, I had to free my conscience. I had to confess my sins, I had to be honest. I want the Ruach HaKodesh to come into me. I only trust the Father, not the enemy. The Father word, he came and cleansed the enemy. I only want the Spirit, so I'm killing me. The Father gave me righteous things that I desire. I want to see the kingdom, not the lake of fire. I don't want no drugs, scriptures got me higher. If we come in up here, how we gon' make it higher? Desires pure. You made my 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 desires pure. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom.
Shabbat
Call
Shalom.
Banyamyan Yasharahla. Shabbat and peace and blessings to all Israel. On this nice and lovely Shabbat day, we give all praise and thanks and glory to the Most High. And today's topic is going to be the roles and function of the angels. The purpose of the angels, what are they created for, and what is their duties in the earth and in the heavens. But before I start my class, as usual, I will start off my class with a Psalms 57. And I want to touch on our current events too, because we see what's taking place over in Ukraine, that the United States is sending Abrams tanks to Ukraine, and Germany is giving their Leopard tanks. So Putin said this is really going to create a mess over there. Putin said if the West knows what's good for them, he said he would turn Berlin into a radioactive cloud dust. That's some big talk, boy. And you know Putin is a man of his words. He will turn Berlin into a radioactive dust cloud. That's simple words for a nuclear destruction.
That's right.
All right? And it's going to build up to that. All right? So we're in the making of what they call the Third World War. All right, so it's all heating up, it's brewing up. All right, so let's read Psalms 57 and start from the first verse. Psalms 57 and 1.
Read out of Psalms chapter 57, verse 1. Be merciful unto me, O power, be merciful unto me, for my soul trusted in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge.
All right, and that's where we're going to make our refuge, in the shadow, all right, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge. And that's what we have to make our refuge. The Most High is going to be our refuge in these last days. All right, and he's going to use those angels to deliver and destroy at the same time. All right, continue.
Until these calamities be overpassed.
Right, until these calamities be overpassed. The calamities that's coming upon the earth is going to overpass eventually when the set time is appointed. Like the Most High told Daniel, when the set appointed time. All right, continue.
Verse 2. I will cry unto the Most High, unto the power that performeth all things for me.
Mm-hmm.
He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up. Selah. O Most High shall send forth his mercy and his truth.
And that's what we want. We want the Most High's mercy and truth in these last days. Continue.
My soul is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire, even the sons of men, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongues a sharp sword.
Mm-hmm.
Be thou exalted, O power, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me.
And that's what this government, the ruling elites of this society are doing to the Most High's people. All right? They have set traps, pits to devour and to destroy us. This is their initial plan. And their last and most dreadful blow that they're going to try to bring to the Most High people is what? Who knows what's the most lethal and death blow that they're going to bring to the Most High's people in these last days? They already poisoned the food, the air, the water, and everything is poisoned and destroyed. But their last and final attempt to destroy the people of the Most High is to do what? But we'll save that. We'll let the listening audience ponder upon that and think upon that. All right? So that's something I want the audience to think upon and ponder upon. All right? And everybody have the answers out there. Listening audience, you can put it up on the comment board. All right? But I want you all to think and think deep, and to show you the times that we're living in and what the enemy has in store for us. All right? Because the ruling elites that runs this earth has an initial and final plan to attack the people of the Most High. All right? I'm going to give you a hint to it. The scripture said, and the dragon is going to make war with the remnant of her seed that do what? That keep the commandments of the Most High, and that have the faith and testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So in these last days, it's very important that we strive to keep those commandments.
That's right.
All right? Because if you don't keep those commandments, you're going to fall in the path of destruction. All right? Continue reading on.
They have digged a pit before me.
See, they're digging a pit. Just like David said, they dig a pit for him. But the enemies of our people are digging a pit for the destruction of our people. Continue.
Into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves.
And they're going to fall into that pit themselves. Eventually, they're going to fall into that pit. Continue.
My heart is fixed, O Most High. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise. Awake up, my glory. Awake, psaltery and harp. I myself will awake early. I will praise thee, O Adawan. Among the people I will sing unto thee among the nations. Mm-hmm. For thy mercy is great unto the heavens, and thy truth unto the clouds. Mm-hmm. Be thou exalted, O Yahweh, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth.
And the Most High glory is going to be above all the earth very soon. Right now, the Most High glory is not in the earth. Whose glory is in the earth? Satan's glory.
That's right.
His glory is in the earth. I'm going to tell you this here. About 99.9% of the people in the earth is serving the glory of Satan. It's only a very small remnant is actually serving the Most High.
Right.
The mass of the people in the earth is serving the glory of Satan.
That's right.
Even those that go to church. Because if they're celebrating Christmas and all the pagan customs, you're serving Satan.
Right, that's right.
You're giving glory to Satan.
Right.
If you're celebrating Christmas, Easter, Mother's Days, you celebrating all these pagan customs, you're giving glory to Satan. You're not giving glory to the Most High. But brother, I go to church every Sunday and I pray to Jesus. All right? But we're going to find out. In the end, the Most High is going to show who are his faithful servants.
Excuse me.
All right? So today's topic, along with many other topics, but the main topic is the function and role of the angels. Now, in Israel, we had a group of Israelite rulers, elders amongst Israel. Some believe in angels, and some didn't believe in angels. But all throughout the scriptures, the Most High showed his presence with the angels, how they interacted with Israel, all right? And sometimes with the different nations. But mainly with Israel. One incident, the Most High interacted with who? And this person was going to put a curse on Israel. And the angel interceded before him. Everybody know who's that person?
Balaam.
Balaam.
Right.
You ever heard of Balaam?
Okay.
Balaam was not an Israelite, but he was on a mission to go and curse Israel. And he was going his donkey riding. Look, you don't see that guy there with the sword in his hand? He's probably saying, what you talk about, you foolish donkey? Keep riding. And the donkey, kicking it. The angel said, look, man. Then the donkey finally said, look, man, there's an angel in front of you, man, with a sword. All right? So that's in our history. The angel was there with a sword in his hand to put his butt to death. Okay? So all throughout our history, there was interaction with angels that the Most High sent down.
That's right.
But let me give an example of how angels interact and how angels appear. Sometimes angels come down in a bodily form, looking just like you and me. All right? Sometimes they don't come down in no bodily form. They come as spirits, as a flaming fire. Okay? Let me give you an example. I'll go to the book of Hebrews. I'm going to show you something. The book of Hebrews. All right? So the angels come in many different forms. Let's go to the book of Hebrews 1 and 7. Hebrews 1 and 14. All right, Hebrews 1 and 14.
What, 14? 13.
Actually, I'm sorry. Read the 6th verse. Yeah.
Okay, reading out of Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 6. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he saith, and let all the angels of the power worship him.
Right, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him. Go ahead.
And the angels, he said, who maketh his angels spirits.
Who maketh his angels spirits. Go ahead.
And his ministers a flame of fire.
And his ministers are a flame of fire. So that's one form that the angels could take on. All right? Now, from there, go from there to Hebrews. Okay, we did Hebrews 1. Okay, from there, go to Psalms 104 and 4. Psalms 104 and 4.
Reading out the book of Psalms, chapter 104 and 4. Who maketh his angels spirits.
Who maketh his angels spirits. Go ahead.
His ministers a flaming fire.
And his ministers a flaming fire. So that's one form that the angels take on. Okay? Now, let's go to Genesis 1:26. Genesis 1:26. But before I read that, let me read something to give you a little insight about the angels. Angels are actually messengers of the Most High. All right? They are messengers. And angels have a threefold mission that the Most High gives them. They are either sent to give warning, information, overstanding, to give protection, salvation, and they're also sent to bring destruction. Those are the threefold mission of angels. All right? So they're there to give information, to give you understanding, to send protection, salvation, deliverance, and also to bring destruction of the Most High. And we're going to get into that. So let's go to Genesis 1:26.
Read out of Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And the Most High said, let us make man in our image.
So who was the Most High talking to when he said that? He was talking to the presence of the angels. He said, let us make man in our image. Go ahead.
After our likeness.
After our likeness. We were made in the likeness of the angels. Go ahead.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
So the angels was there in the beginning with the Most High's creation.
That's right.
The angels are the workmanship of the Most High to do the Most High's bidding. They carry out the Most High works in the earth. All right? So now, from there, let's go to Genesis, the 16th chapter. I want to show you something. Genesis, the 16th chapter. And we see how the angels interacted with people in the earth. Genesis, the 16th chapter. And we're going to start from the 7th verse.
Reading out of Genesis chapter 16, verse 7.
Actually, read the first verse, then 1 and 2, and then jump to 7.
Okay. Reading out of Genesis chapter 16, verse 1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
Right, Hagar was an Egyptian. So we see right here, Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar were all black people. They were not the people you see today living in the East today.
That's right.
Abraham was not a white-looking white boy, or what they call, he's what they call, what the term they use, he's Middle Eastern looking.
Middle Eastern.
What the hell is Middle Eastern looking? Not today. He was olive looking.
Olive.
You know, such thing, olive is either green or black.
That's right.
Okay? They come with these stupid, dumb terms to justify their lies that they have put out there. Right? But Abraham wasn't black. Abraham came from Ur of the Chaldees. Right. Who was the founder of Ur of the Chaldees? The people of Nimrod and the Shemitic people. Okay? Nimrod was the first ruler over those kingdoms. And who was Nimrod? A Cushite.
That's right.
Okay? So let's get that fact and that nonsense they're telling you, the people in the Middle East are the people of today. No, they are not. The people that's in the Middle East today are not the people that was there in the ancient world. Continue.
Verse 2. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold now, the Adawan has restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai.
All right. So Sarah couldn't get no children, but she had a handmaid. So Sarah said, well, hey, take the handmaid, get children for her, to bear children for me. But eventually the Most High was going to open her womb to have children. Okay? But what the Most High was doing here, the Most High was going to give Abraham a son. And this son was going to be Ishmael. And in Hebrew, his name is Yasharahla, which means he is heard of the power. All right? And the Most High said, Ishmael, hello, was going to be a wild man. That's his nature. He's a wild man out there. Okay? So now jump down to the 7th verse.
Verse 7. And the angel of the Adawan found her by a fountain of water.
Who found her? The angel. The angel found Hagar. She was running from Sarah because Sarah spoke harsh to her. And she's like, I can't deal with this, I'm leaving. So she tried to run away. And the angel stopped her and told her something. The angel gave her information. Read that verse again.
And the angel of the Adawan found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai.
So the angel knew, but he was just questioning her to keep a conversation with her. The angel knew why she ran, where she was going. So the angel want to question her and talk to her. All right, go ahead.
Verse 9. And the angel of the Adawan said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Adawan said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude.
So this is the information that the angel brought to her. So remember I said earlier, the angel have a threefold mission: to bring information, understanding, overstanding, to bring deliverance, salvation, and also to bring destruction. So this angel was bringing information and understanding to her. Continue.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Adawan said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael.
You shall call his name Ishmael, Yasharahla. He is heard of the power. That's why they like to cry out so much. Allahu Akbar! They're crying out to the Most High, so the Most High could hear them. All right? Continue.
Because the Most High has heard thy affliction.
See, the Most High heard her affliction. Okay? Continue.
Verse 12. And he will be a wild man.
He's going to be a wild man, a crazy dude. That's their attribute. Okay? They love that sword. Okay? Go ahead.
His hand will be against every man.
And his hands against everybody. Anybody. All right? Go ahead.
And every man's hand against him.
And everybody going to be against him. Them damn Arabs. Here the white man said, here one politician said one day, he said, all terrorists are Arabs and all terrorists are Arabs. So he's saying no matter what, they're still terrorists. Whether they're Arabs, whether they're not, they're still terrorists. Because he said the fact is all terrorists start from Arabs. So he's pointing the finger at them. All right? Everybody points the finger at the children of the Arabs for being terrorists. But who's the biggest terrorist in the earth? This devil, the white man. He's the biggest terrorist. And what is the reason why the Arabs are terrorists against the Western world? What is the reason why? Anybody knows why? Why did the so-called Arabs become terrorists against the Western world? They didn't just become terrorists just for the fun of it. It was a reason behind why they became terrorists to the Western world. Anybody know? Take a shot. Why?
The ways of the Western world is against the Most High.
Say it again.
The ways of the Western world is against the Most High.
That's true. That's true. But it's something else why the Arabs are against the Western world and raising up as terrorists. What do the Arabs have in their country that the entire world want? Oil. The oil belongs to them. So what did the Western world do? The Western world and powers went into the Arab countries and took over and seized all their oil profits that belongs to them. The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the British. BP, you ever heard BP? BP represents British Petroleum, but they changed the name to what? Beyond Petroleum. It was the British and the Americans, beginning with the Rockefellers, that went into the Arab world and took control of their oil resources and control it. The Arabs might be there in the land saying they're controlling, but when it comes down to it, the regulation and the control of it is done by the Western powers. And the Arabs know this. Okay? Prior to that, Iran, the British was controlling their oil. Then the Iranians said, get the hell out of our country. They kicked them out. Kuwait was a territory set up by the British. Okay, remember Saddam Hussein? All of them was under the British influence controlling their oil. So the Arabs said, you know what? You only here to take over and control our resources and to oppress us. And America and Israel was using their forces and their influence to destroy the Arab presence in the Middle East. So the Arab nation said, to hell with that. We're not going to allow that. Then you had bin Laden that rose up too. Okay? So the Arab nation became what you call so-called terrorists against the Western world for their oppression and evil against their way of life. But they won't tell the American public what they've been doing to the Arab countries and nations. Okay? It goes way back in the early 1900s when the British set up the two Arab families and used them under Lawrence of Arabia. It's a deep history when you check out that history. Lawrence of Arabia was an MI6 agent used by the British to go in and infiltrate the Arab countries and set up different factions and use them to pave the way for the so-called Jews to come into the land. All right? It's a deep history behind of that. But that's another lesson. But we're going to stick with this here. All right? It's a real deep history of why the Arab nations are against the Western world. Okay? So finish reading that again. We say Ishmael, he shall be a wild man. Labrahim.
And he shall be a wild man, and his hands will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
And he dwells in the presence of all his brethren that's in that area of Arabia. Okay? Arabia is not, Saudi Arabia is not only consists of Saudi Arabia, it consists of Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, Yemen, all those countries, the United Arab Emirates, all of that is considered Arabia. Dubai, okay? But it was cut up. But that whole region is known as Arabia, what you call Saudi Arabia, by the different Arab families. Okay? And some of the Arabs live in Iraq, some live in Jordan, all right? Some of them live also up in Syria, all right? So they spread all throughout the Middle East, but the main land that was given to them was the land of Arabia. That's the land that was given to them. Okay? So we see how the angels interacted with Hagar. All right? So from there, let's go to Genesis, the 19th chapter. All right? And we see how the angels now is going to interact with Lot when they went down into Sodom and Gomorrah. So the angels were always there to show their presence and to give warning or information before a sudden destruction. All right? So let's go to Genesis, the 19th chapter, and let's start from the first verse.
Read out of Genesis chapter 19, verse 1. And there came two angels to Sodom at even.
See? And there came two angels to Sodom. Two angels came down to Sodom. Go ahead.
And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. And he said, Behold, now, my other ones, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways.
Now jump down to the 13th verse.
Verse 13. For we will destroy this place.
So the angel came to bring information to Lot. All right? Read that verse again.
For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Adawan, and the Adawan has sent us to destroy it.
All right. See what the angel came? The angel came to bring information to Lot and to warn them about what they was going to do to this place. All right? Now jump down here to the 17th verse.
Read out of Genesis chapter 19, verse 17. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest thou be consumed.
So what the angel told Lot? This is the instructions the angel gave to Lot. Continue.
Verse 18, and Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Adawan. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
Go ahead.
Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till you be come thither.
So the angel said, we can't destroy this place until you're out of this area. Continue.
Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Adawan rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Adawan out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
And that pillar of salt is still there today in the land of Jordan. It's still there. Now, why did she look back? Why did Lot's wife look back? Straight to the point. Give me an answer.
I think that people think about our loved ones and this, that, and third. All other kind of stuff I want to say, but I can't. That's what I go to my else.
Nah, she wasn't thinking so much of her loved ones.
Okay, well, okay.
It's something else she was thinking about. I'm going to give you an example. Think about today. Some of our sisters in today's society, what do they think about in this society? Right. Oh, the wealth, the power, the materialistic things they have, how good they're doing. So, do they want to lose that? Oh. So Lot White was the same way. Oh, man, look. This going to be destroyed, all this good stuff I had over here. She was thinking like that. So she looked back to the cares of that world. All right? And when she looked back, she got destroyed. She was turned to a rock of salt. Okay? Because her mind and her mindset was of that world. Okay? Now you could see why the two daughters didn't have much of a grounded foundation. Because the mother was of the world. She was worldly. All right? So she turned back and she got toasted. She got roasted.
Can I read something, Ben?
Yes.
Okay, to keep up with that and to bring it up to date, that was over like 3,000 years ago.
More than that.
So I'm just giving an example in our lifetime. So to bring it up to date for what's getting ready to happen, Luke 17:32.
Got it?
Remember Lot's wife.
Right. He said, remember Lot's wife. Don't be like Lot's wife. She had the cares of this world. Oh, I love this. And a lot of people, oh, America, oh, American dream, I love this. They don't want to see this place destroyed, but this baby is going to burn, baby, burn. Okay? It's going to burn for all the dirt they did to us, man.
That's right.
There's more to it?
No, that's it.
Okay. And that's a verse.
That's it.
Straight and direct to the point. Remember Lot's wife. Don't be like her. Okay? Now
go for men too.
That goes for men too.
For the men too. Don't think about just the ladies.
It goes for men too.
That's right.
Because some men love this word too. I could make money, man. I could be a big shot. I could be the man in this wicked world. All right? Finish, go back to Genesis.
I'm still there.
All right, go ahead.
Where am I? 19, I'm on 18 now.
26.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Read 26 again.
Oh, sorry. Read out of Genesis chapter 19, verse 26. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Adawan. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and towards all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace.
It was smoking, just like the people's going to see America. When they see the smoke of her burning, they're going to see America on fire, burning, man. You understand? And they're going to be weeping and crying for the destruction of America. That's the same way that Sodom and Gomorrah went up in smoke. Abraham saw the smoke of her burning, and the Most High said he rained fire from heaven on Sodom and Gomorrah. And when you go to Sodom and Gomorrah to today, you could still smell that sulfur. And when you pick up that anything over there, it turns to ashes, and you can still smell the sulfur. You put a match to it, it will burn. The Most High left it there as an example to the rest of the world. Go ahead.
And that's why.
The precept to that scripture in the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. Where it says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah to ashes, condemn them with overthrow, making them, what you just said, an example, those that
after live ungodly. That's right. That's the saying. The Most High left that area today. It's still a pit of sulfur. All right. You put a match to it, it will light up. Okay. The Most High overthrew it with nuclear destruction.
That's right. And Lot's wife is still in the scene too.
She's still there. Big pillar, rock of salt, still standing there today, man. Okay. When we went there, man, you could smell the sulfur, man. All right, and no grass grows in that area, man. And when you pick up any of the rock or the stone, anything, it just crumbles in your hand. And you can still smell the sulfur. And you take a match and light it, will light. Most High left that residue of that destruction there, man, as an example. All right, and the angel told Lot and Abraham what it was going to do before it happened. And the same thing the Most High said in Revelation, the 18th chapter. And an angel came and said, Babylon the Great is fallen. He gave that last warning. Okay, continue reading on.
Verse 29, and it came to pass that when the Most High destroyed the cities of the plain, and the Most High remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelled. Mm-hmm. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountains, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters.
All right, that's it. All right. So we see now how the angels bring information. Now from there, let's go to the book of Judges. Judges, the 2nd chapter. The angels always bring information and understanding to the people. All right, Judges, the 2nd chapter. Judges 2, and start from the 1st verse.
Read out the book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 1. And the angel of the Adawan came up from Gilgad to Bochim and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you.
See, the Most High never breaks his covenant, but we're the one that broke the covenant.
That's right.
So the Most High sent the angels to let Israel know. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2, and ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this?
So that's the angel speaking to us. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their powers shall be a snare unto you.
And their gods was going to be a snare unto us. Their gods were their religions, their way of life. Continue.
Verse 4. And it came to pass, when the angel of the Adawan spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voices and wept.
Because they were guilty.
That's right.
The angels put them to shame for what they have done. So the angel brought it back to their understanding. Listen, man, this is what you did. And the angel put that guilt on them for what they have done, being disobedient and rebellious. Continue.
Verse 5, and they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto the Adawan.
All right. Now from there, go to let's go to Daniel. But actually, let's jump to the New Testament and come back to the Old Testament again. Let's go to Luke, the 1st chapter. Luke, the 1st chapter, and start from the 19th verse. Luke chapter 1, verse 19.
We have the book of Luke, chapter 1, and verse 19. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel.
See? Now, even in the time of the New Testament, when Yahushua was around the time of the Romans, the angel was still appearing to Israel. Okay? The angel Gabriel came down and spoke to them. Right. Read that verse again.
Read out the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 19. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel, that stand in the presence of the Most High.
So he said, I'm a Gabriel that stand in the presence of the Most High. Okay, go ahead.
And am sent to speak unto thee, and to show thee these glad tidings. And behold, thou shalt be dumb, and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. And the people waited for Zacharias and marveled that he tarried so long in the temple.
Right, because he was talking to the angel. The people were like, what are you doing there so long? You ain't supposed to be in there so long. Come out to meet the people and talk to the people. But the angel was grilling him and saying, listen, I'm telling you this here. All right, go ahead.
And the people waited for Zacharias and marveled that he tarried so long in the temple.
What is he doing there so long? Go ahead.
And when he came out, he could not speak unto them.
He was dumb. Couldn't speak. The angel shut his mouth up. Go ahead.
And they perceived that he had seen a vision in the temple, for he beckoned unto them and remained speechless.
So he was doing sign language. Like, what? We can't speak? All right, go ahead.
Verse 23, and it came to pass that as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house. And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months, saying, Thus said the Adawan, dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me to take away my reproach among men. Mm-hmm. And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from the Most High unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth.
All right, so the angel Gabriel came down now again. All right, he was sent to the city of Nazareth in Galilee. Go ahead.
To a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph.
So the angel came to Mary. All right, go ahead.
Of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. And the angel came in unto her and said, Hail, thou that art highly favored.
So he saluted her. Came in and saluted her. All right? That's a glorious thing when a woman in the presence of an angel met her and saluted her. That's glory, man.
That's right.
Okay? Go ahead.
And the angel come in unto her and said, Hail, thou that art highly favored. The Adawan is with thee. Blessed art thou among women.
So he says, thou art highly favored. All right? That's a big recognition right there. Okay? And that's what all sisters should strive for, man, to be recognized like that, man. He said, thou art highly favored. The Most High is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 29. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying.
She was troubled, like, man, because everybody know when an angel appear on the scene, It's either good news, bad news, okay? It's either one of the two. Okay, go ahead.
And cast in her mind what manner of salutation this should be. And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with the Most High.
He said, calm her down, like, don't worry, everything's cool. You ain't gotta worry, everything's cool. All right, go ahead.
And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahweh.
And that angel said, this is the name you're gonna call him. The angel gave her that name to call her son. Okay, just like the angel gave Hagar the name for Ishmael. That name came from the angels. All right, go ahead.
Verse 32, he shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the other one power shall give unto him the throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end.
That's right. David kingdom had an end, Solomon kingdom had an end, Saul kingdom had an end. But Yahweh's kingdom is not going to have no end. It's going to rule forever and ever. And nobody's going to take it down.
That's right.
All right, continue.
Verse 34, then said Mary unto the angel, How shall this be, seeing I know not a man? And the angel answered and said unto her, The Holy Spirit shall come upon thee, and the power of the highest shall overshadow thee. Therefore also that holy thing which shall be born of thee shall be called the Son of the Most High.
All right, that's it. So from there now, let's go to Matthew's, the 2nd chapter. Matthew's, the 2nd chapter. And start from the 13th verse.
We have the book of Matthew, chapter 2, in verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the other one appeared to Joseph in a dream.
So the angel appeared to Joseph in a dream. All right? He's giving him warning and information, just like he did to Zacharias, just like he did to Mary. He's giving them information and understanding. Okay, go ahead.
Saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
So the angel said, Take you and Mary, go down to Egypt and get away from Herod, because Herod's mission is to destroy the child. So they went down to Egypt. All right? Now, what time period was this that they went down to Egypt? Who was ruling at this particular time? What kingdom that Daniel spoke about was ruling at this particular time? The Roman Empire was ruling. All right? This was what you call the beginning of the BC going into the first AD. This was the ending of the BC era, approaching to what you call the AD era. And this was the time that the Romans was ruling. And while the Romans were still ruling, you still had certain segment of the Egyptians that was down in Egypt. All right? Because we had communities in Egypt at this particular time. And also, too, you got to remember, during this time of the Roman, who was famous for going down to Egypt? It was one of the Caesars and one of his generals. At this time was famous for going down to Egypt. Let me pick your brain. One of the Caesars and one of his generals. I know you all heard of, what's her name? Cleopatra. You heard of Cleopatra, right? You heard of Mark Antony. Mark Antony was the lover of Cleopatra, and he was one of the general of the Caesars. So he had an affair with Cleopatra. All right? Now, Cleopatra was in Egypt. Now, her mother was a real Egyptian, but her father was a Roman. All right? So she looked like the ancient Egyptian. A lot of people say, oh, Cleopatra was black. But her father was of the Roman seed.
Right.
Because the Romans had took over the last of the Egyptians' kingdom. Okay? But Israelites, we had communities in Egypt. We had 5 cities in Egypt that we had in Egypt. So Yahushua went down to one of those cities in Egypt. Because when you go back to the history, during the time of the Greeks, what you call the Septuagint was written in Egypt for Israelites that were scattered in Egypt and throughout the Greek world. So we had communities in Egypt that Yahushua went down there into Egypt. So the angel came to give them that information to let them know. Flee out of Israel and go into Egypt because Herod is trying to kill the young child. All right, continue reading on.
Amen. Okay.
When
14. He
arose,
arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod.
Until Herod died. Continue.
That it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Adawan by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son.
Right. So out of Egypt did he call his son, because Yahushua came out of Egypt with his mother and father during the time of Herod, when they wanted to kill all the first, the male child of Israel. All right. Now from there, now let's jump back to the Old Testament now. Let's go to the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter. Daniel, the 8th chapter, and see how the angel interacted with Daniel. Daniel 8, and start from the 15th verse.
We have the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 15. And it came to pass when I, even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then, behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man.
So, excuse me, Daniel wanted the meaning and the understanding of the vision that he saw, because it troubled him. He couldn't figure out the meaning and the interpretation of the dream and what it meant. So the angel came to give him the understanding to what the dream represented. Continue.
Verse 16, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision.
So Gabriel came to make him understand the vision. So we see, what is Gabriel's job? To give information and understanding. That's his job. Every angel have a specific job. Michael's job is to do what? What is Michael's job?
Protect Israel.
To protect, deliver, and destroy. He's a man of war.
That's right.
Right? But Gabriel's job is to bring understanding and information to you, to enlighten you. All right? And then you have other angels. Raphael, what is his mission?
Health.
To bring healings and health. All right? Where do we read about Raphael?
Apocrypha, Tobit.
In the Apocrypha with Tobit. All right? So let's continue reading on.
Verse 17, so he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid, and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision.
So he said, at the time of the end shall this vision be. So he said, understand, man. Understand, young man. All right? So the angel is speaking to Daniel. Go ahead.
Now, as he was speaking to me, I was in a deep sleep on my face towards the ground. But he touched me and set me upright.
So he was in a trance, and the angel touched him and wake him up. Right? Because he was in a trance. And the angel touched him and set him upright. Stand up. All right, go ahead.
Verse 19, and he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed, the end shall be. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
So the angel explained to him what he saw in the vision. These rams or these beasts represent kingdoms that's going to rule the earth. And each of them is going to rule the earth in succession, a period of succession. All right, go ahead.
Verse 21, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
He said, and that rough goat, that rough goat, you see that wild goat? That's Alexander. That's going to be the main man. All right? Because the Most High sets up the stars, the felons. He sets up everybody to play a particular role.
That's right.
All right? There are stars in the bad nations, and there are stars in the good nations. Among Esau, there are stars. That's untouchable until the time of the end. All right? The elites are untouchable right now. You can't go and arrest none of the elites and say, press charges against them. You can't bring them to justice. Only the angels and the Most High could do that for now. Right now, no mortal man can arrest them. Not no CIA, no FBI. Because they're giving orders. They're working for the powers that be. Okay? Some of my people say, but why you can't be brought down to justice? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Who could have gone and arrest David? Only the Most High could have judged David for his crime that he committed. Israel could point finger and complain. But anybody could have gone and said, go and take David down from his throne. It's the same way with Esau and the elites that rule this earth. We could complain and get mad, but we can't take them down until the Most High said it's time for them to come down by the appointed time. All right, continue.
And the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it.
So he said, okay, that kingdom is going to have 4 generals that's going to rule his kingdom. That's going to take over the earth and rule the earth. All right, continue.
4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation.
Right, he said 4 kingdoms. All of that is going to have 4 generals that's going to take over the known parts of the earth, and each one is going to have their own dominion and rulership in the earth. That was Egypt. Okay, that was what the so-called Middle East. All right, the Hellespont, Europe. Okay, and these 4 generals is going to take over those major parts of the earth to rule the earth. So that's why you see a lot of white-looking people in the Middle East, or in Egypt, or in Syria, in Jordan, because they came out from the seed of what? The offshoot of the Greeks. That's the leftover seed that was left there when these generals ruled that part of the earth. Okay, go ahead.
But not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full.
See, in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgression are come to a full, when it's time for their kingdom to come to an end. All right, go ahead.
A king of fierce countenance and understanding, dark sentences shall stand up.
All right, and that was Antiochus. And it's going to lead up to today's day. It's going to be a king of fierce countenance. That's going to be what? The Antichrist. The one that's going to call the shot in these last days. All right? So everything that happened in the past is going to happen all over again. History always repeats itself. It never fails. Continue.
Verse 24, and his power shall be mighty.
See, and his power is going to be mighty. He's going to have great power. Continue.
But not by his own power.
Not by his own power. It's going to be through the powers of Satan. All right, go ahead.
And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Antiochus Epiphanes, that's what he did to us. He destroyed us. And in the last days, it's going to be the same thing all over again. Continue.
Verse 25, and through his policy.
And what is his policy? His policy goes back to what? His political legislations and laws that he imposes and makes. Policy comes from making laws in the Senate, in the Congress, and throughout the political system. That's how he makes his policy and make it stand, that you can't go against it. So read that verse again, Labrian.
And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands.
He's going to cause things to prosper in his hands by using laws and legislation. Continue.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
And that's what he did back then, Antiochus Epiphanes. And in the last days, that's what the Antichrist is going to do. He's going to magnify himself in his heart. Continue.
And by peace shall destroy many.
They did it back then, and they're going to do it again today. And by peace shall destroy many. Go ahead.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
And he stood up against the Maccabees back then. And in these last days, he's going to stand against us and against Yahushua. Continue.
But he shall be broken without hand.
But he's going to be busted down. Okay? Continue.
And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days.
All right? So the angel says it's going to be for many days. It ain't happened during the time of Daniel. Okay? Now from there.
Can I read 27?
Yes.
Verse 27. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterwards I rose up and did the king's business. And I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it.
Right. So nobody understood the vision. But the angel came expressly to Daniel and showed him the vision and the meaning of the vision. Okay? Now, sometimes that could happen. If you don't understand something, the Most High will send you an angel, or he'll put the thought in your mind. He'll give you the understanding. That's why the Most High said there's a spirit within man that gives you the inspiration of the Most High. Right? That spirit within you is what gives you the inspiration of the Most High. Okay? Now from there, go to Daniel again, the 9th chapter, Daniel 9 and 22.
Read out the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 22. And he informed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding.
So he said, now Daniel, I'm come to thee now to give you skill and understanding and overstanding of everything that you saw in the vision that you wanted to know. I'm here to explain to you now, Daniel. Just take a back seat and take notes. All right, go ahead.
Verse 23. At the beginning of thy supplications and commandment came forth, and I am come to show thee, for thou art greatly beloved.
So he said, you are greatly beloved of the Most High. That's a great title, man. Okay, go ahead.
Therefore, understand the matter.
He said, understand the matter, Daniel. Go ahead.
And consider the vision.
And consider the vision that I'm going to show you. Go ahead.
Verse 24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon the holy city.
He said 70 weeks. That was a total of 490 years from that time to the time that Yahushua was born. That's 490 years. He was showing him the vision of the Messiah coming on the scene. But he showed him that vision during the time of Daniel. So 70 weeks represents 490 years. 70 times 7 is 490. Those weeks accounts to years. 70 times 7. So he will explain to Daniel, I'm showing you something, Daniel. From the time that I'm showing you this vision to the time that the Messiah is going to be born, it's going to be a total of 490 years. To be exact. Continue.
To finish the transgressions and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy.
And to anoint the most holy. Who's the most holy? Yahushua HaMashiach. That's the vision he was showing Daniel. Continue.
Verse 25. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 70 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times.
So during the time of Cyrus, when he gave the commission to rebuild the temple, in the time of Nehemiah and Ezra, when they were building the walls in the city, from that time up until the time that Yahushua was born, that's what he was showing him, the latter part of that prophecy. All right? So the angel came to show him the understanding of that. All right? Now from there, go over here to Daniel, the 10th chapter. Daniel 10, and start here from the 10th verse.
You have the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 10. And behold, an hand touched me, which set me upon my knees and upon the palms of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, O man greatly beloved, understand these words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken these words unto me, I stood trembling.
Daniel stood trembling in the presence of the angels. All right? Because an angel is fierce looking, man. When they come to you, it's not about no laughing matter. It's no joking matter. It's straight and direct. Either life or death. Angels don't make mistake. They don't folly. They don't laugh and joke. They tell you exactly what the Most High wants to be conveyed. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 12. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before the Most High, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words.
See, and I am come for thy words. I'm come to inform you, Daniel. Go ahead and to answer the information that you needed to be answered, the questions that you had. Go ahead.
Verse 13. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia.
Now, who's the prince of the kingdom of Persia? That's Satan. Every kingdom has a certain entity.
That's right.
That guards and protect and watch over them. Okay? Every rulership, just like America, you just can't go and take America down like that. It will never happen. Okay? They have a certain entity and power that's guarding and watching over America until that set time for this country to fall and to be destroyed. Okay? So you could raise the greatest militia you want. We're going to take this devil down. I salute you. Go ahead. But you're not going to win. Okay? And if you got that thought and idea, you on your own, brother. It's not about being a coward, but we understand what the Most High mission is.
That's right.
Okay? So anybody want to do it, that's on you. But for me, we're going to wait for the Most High.
That's right.
To do his mission. And I could be successful in that victory. Okay? Because a lot of people got the idea, yo, white man is a punk. Continue to think he's a punk. He's not a punk when it comes to that level. He will fight. Okay? The Roman Empire was not known as the Roman Empire for nothing. Okay? The Most High said it was a dreadful kingdom. And this is the end of the Roman Empire. The Most High said, yes, it's partly weakened and broken, but it's not completely done in yet. Okay? They have one of the greatest military force in the world. Okay? They don't have to send no troops against you. They could take you out. They could take you out just by using what? EMP, electromagnetic force. They could crash your plane just by using EMP. They could target you.
Right.
Okay? Specifically and directly towards you with any of their weapons that they choose. This devil is we don't understand what we're up against, man. That's what the scripture said. Michael is going to have to stand up in that day. But we up against a hell of a bad dude, man. And he know he's going out, he's going to use all of his arsenals. That's why the Most High said he's going to open his armory up against this place. All that real quick, I'm going to show you something. The Most High is going to unleash his total arsenal of armory against this place. Because they're going to fight. Okay? Hold on, go to Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah, I'm going to show you something. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. Jeremiah 50 and start from read the 25th verse.
25.
The Most High said he's going to open his armory against this place. All right? Jeremiah 50 and 25.
Read out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 25. Behold, I am against thee.
No, Jeremiah 50, 25.
Oh, I'm sorry, 51. That's a lot. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 25. The Most High has opened his armory.
See, the Most High said he's going to open his armory. If the Most High is going to open his armory, what do you think this devil is going to do? You think he's just going to lay down? This devil is going to fight. Okay, go ahead.
And has brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
And the Most High is going to bring forth the weapons of his indignation. Okay, go ahead.
For this is the work of the Adawan, the Most High of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans.
Right. And the land of the Chaldeans was up in Iraq. Now, on a spiritual level, who are the modern day Chaldeans today? America. The elites of America. Mm-hmm. The unseen rulers are known as Chaldeans. The Chaldeans were the wise, the enlightened men of Babylon. Okay, now go back to where we were in Daniel. We left off in what? Daniel 8? No,
10 and
10? All right.
10 and 10.
10 and 10. We read 10, right?
Yes.
All right. So,
11?
No, we're in 12 now. 12. Daniel 12, 10 and 12.
No. Okay. Read now to Daniel chapter 10, verse 12. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before the Most High thy power, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. Mm-hmm. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me.
Right, so that was Satan. That was guarding the Persian Empire. All right? They have an entity and a power that's protecting and watching over their rulership. Every empire that comes into play, that's ruling, or that's coming into play, has an entity before them. All right, go ahead.
1 in 20 days.
So they, Satan and the force withstood Michael 21 days. So he couldn't get to Daniel. All right, go ahead.
But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Mm-hmm. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days.
So he said the angel came to show him what's going to happen to his people in the latter days. Go ahead.
For yet the vision is for many days.
So he said, for yet the vision is for many days. Just like the Most High told Habakkuk, the vision is for many days. But in the end, it shall speak. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. And when he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground, and I became dumb. Mm-hmm. And behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spake, and said unto him that stood before me, O my Adawan, by the vision my sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. But how can the servant of this my Adawan talk with this my Adawan? For as for me, straightway there remain no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me. Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me, and said, O man greatly beloved, fear not. Peace be unto you, peace be unto thee. Be strong, yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Adawan speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Mm-hmm. Then said he, Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Greece shall come.
Right. So right after that, the kingdom of the Greeks was coming into play. So Persia was going down, and the Greek Empire was coming in. Go ahead.
Verse 21, but I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth. And there is none that holdeth me with me in these things but Michael, your prince.
Michael. All right. Michael, the archangel. All right. So from there now, let's go to Exodus. Exodus, the 14th chapter. Exodus 14. And start from the 19th verse.
19, yeah.
Exodus 14 and 19.
Yeah. Read now the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them.
So this is when we coming out of Egypt now. The angel was there to protect and to fight for us. All right, go ahead.
And it came to pass between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them. But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night.
So we had light, and the Egyptians had darkness. So the angels turned off, put darkness in their area, and gave us light, so we could get out of Egypt. So the angel was fighting and protecting us while we were leaving out of Egypt. Continue.
And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the other one caused the sea to go back to a strong east wind.
By a strong east wind.
By a strong east wind. All that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall upon them on their right hand.
Right, so it was like a wall. While we passing through, the water stood up on both sides like a wall. All right? That's a great sight to see, man. And can you imagine people, oh man, look at that, look in Israel. We probably were fearful too. See that water, man? And that noise of the water, man, you know, the noise of water makes, man. Can you imagine the water up high, like a wall, man? And you passing through on dry land. All right? Go ahead.
And on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Adawan looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels.
So the angels took off the chariot wheels. All right, stop them from pursuing us. All right, go ahead.
That they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Adawan fighteth for them against the Egyptians.
So they saw that the angels were fighting for us against them. All right. Now from there, let's go to Joshua. Joshua 5 and 13.
Read out the book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 13. And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand.
All right. So the angels here came in flesh. They came down in the physical. They took on a physical appearance. All right?
And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us or for our adversaries?
See what Joshua asked the angel? He said, wait a minute. I see you with a sword in your hand. You for us or for the adversaries? All right, he had to be sure. Like, I don't know, what's your intent? I see you standing here with a sword in your hand.
Okay.
So the angel said, don't worry, I'm here for you to fight for you. All right, go ahead.
Verse 14, and he said, nay, but as captain of the host of the Adawan am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship. And he said unto him, what saith the Adawan unto his servant? And the captain of the Adawan's host said unto Joshua, loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place wherein thou standest is holy. And Joshua said, did so.
And Joshua did so. So all throughout our history, there was interaction with the angels, whether it was in an invisible form or in the physical form. And most of the time, they came in a physical form. All right? And I'm going to hit you with something too. Each and every one of us have its own angel.
Okay.
All right? Go to Psalms 34 and 7.
Yeah.
Psalms 34 and 7.
Excuse me.
You have an angel that protects and watch over you.
That's right.
And one that reports back to the Most High.
That's right. Excuse me.
All right?
Read now the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 7. The angel of the Adawan encampeth round about them that fear him.
See it? The angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear the Most High. Go ahead.
And delivereth them.
And delivereth them. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Adawan is good.
Yeah. Taste and see that the Most High is good. All right. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. Oh, fear.
That's it. All right. Okay. Now. So now we see that's the levels of the angel to communicate and to inform you of certain things, right? Now, actually, go to one more scripture, Revelation, the 14th chapter. Revelation 14 and 6. And the angels also bring warnings to Revelation 14 and 6.
Read now the book of Revelations, chapter 14, and verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth.
All right, so this is the final warning that the angels is bringing to the earth. All right, go ahead.
And to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High, and give glory to him. For the hour of his judgment is come.
See, for the hour of his judgment is come. The Most High judgment is coming in the earth. Go ahead.
And worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the foundations of waters.
Fountains.
Such like.
Fountain.
And the foundations of water.
Fountain.
Fountains of water. Well, he made that too. Verse 8, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen.
See, there's a final warning. He's saying you, Babylon is falling. And the angel said it, it's going to happen. You're saying, no, that's not going to happen. You want to take your bet against the angels? I stand with the angels and agree with them.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Yeah, all the nations have drunk of the wrath of the fornication of Babylon. Okay, go ahead.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
See, that's the question I was asking y'all. That's the final attempt he's going to bring. The mark of the beast. That chip. That is coming very soon. Okay? And the angels letting you know, if any man, read that verse again. The angels letting you know and warning the people in the earth. Read that verse again.
Read now to Revelations chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
See, if you receive that mark in his forehead or in his hand, you take that RFID chip and have it implanted in you, your future is sealed for death.
Right.
That's the mark that he's going to bring.
Right.
The mark is not something that's written that he's going to write. That mark is that sign of his kingdom.
Right.
Okay? Because what he's moving into is what you call AIG, artificial intelligence. Okay? Artificial intelligence to control the masses. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High,
So the angel saying, you're going to drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Go ahead.
which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascend up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image.
Who worship the beast and his image. All right? And what is his image? His image is that new world order that he's bringing in. A satanic new world order. Okay? Go ahead.
And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name,
The mark of his name. Okay? In that chip, he has his name, which is what? The 666 brand. Okay? And why is he going to use that RFID chip? What's the purpose of it? Straight to the point.
Say, you quote your criminal wrong, to identify those that belong. You know?
Right. Right. And also, too, because his plan is to do what? To get rid of what? The monetary system and bring in a digital currency system to keep track of everything and you. That's his initial plan. Yes. Right. He wants to be like the Most High, to see and know exactly what you're doing. His whole thing is control of the entire system and to control you. And those that he can't control, you have to be what? Eliminated.
right?
Eliminated. All right? Let me prove that real quick. Go to the Apocrypha. Real quick. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. And start here from start from the 69th verse. 2nd Ezra 16 and 69.
Read out of 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High.
Right. So those that fear the Most High, those that not giving in to the system and the allegiance of the system, all right, you're going to be trouble because you're keeping the commandments of the Most High. All right, read that verse again.
Verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High.
So why is he going to destroy those that fear the Most High? Because you're not following his allegiance. You're following the allegiance of the Most High. So those that fear the Most High, he's going to make an attempt to destroy those that fear the Most High. That's why it says, for the devil is come upon you having great wrath, because he knows his time is short, and he's going to target those that do what? Keep the commandments of the Most High. Yes.
What you said, the mark and everything, want to identify everybody. because all those that fear the Most High, where the Most High, he says in the Bible says, fear that fear that. When he Psalm verse 4, I say all the time in my prayers, we say, and I sought the Lord, he delivered my fears. So what's going on right now, I can't afford to be, I can't be afraid if I trust in him. So I'm going to say it's more.
All right, continue.
Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
Go ahead.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
See, and that's what's going to happen. And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. The elect of the Most High, those that's keeping the commandments. All right, continue.
Hear, O ye my beloved, says the Adawan. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
But the Most High is going to deliver us from the same. All right, go ahead.
Be ye not afraid, neither doubt.
Don't doubt. All right, go ahead.
For the Most High is your guide.
The Most High is your guide. Go ahead.
And the guide of them who keep my commandments.
See, keep going back to the commandments. And the guide of them that keep my commandments. Go ahead.
And precepts, saith the Most High Adawan. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
All right. Okay, read 77.
Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins.
So if you bound with sins, what's going to happen? It's going to weigh you down. All right, go ahead.
And covered with their iniquities, like a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
All right. So that's it. So go over here, go back now. All right. Let's go to the book of Daniel 12 and 1. Daniel 12 and 1. So now these are the angels that bring deliverance now. Deliverance, protection, and salvation. All right. Daniel 12 and 1.
We have the book of Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble.
And that's the time we're going to be facing, a time of great trouble. Go ahead.
Such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
All right. Now from there, go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Okay, Matthew 24 and start from 21. Matthew 24, 21.
Read out the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh to be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
All right, now jump down here to 27.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For whosoever the carcass is, there will be eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a...
See, he's going to send his angels. Those are the angels of deliverance. All right? Go, and he shall do what? He shall send his angels.
With a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
And that's the function of those angels, to deliver Israel. All right? Now from there, go to Revelation 7. Revelation 7 and 1. But before we go to Revelation, let's go to Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63, 8 and 9.
Read out the book of Isaiah, chapter 63, and verse 8. For he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their Savior. In all their affliction, he was afflicted. And the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity, he redeemed them. And he bare them and carried them all the days of old.
All right. Go to Revelation 7 and 1. We're going to wrap up the class very soon. All right.
Read out the book of Revelations, chapter 7, and verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth.
All right. So the angels are holding back this great destruction for a set time until a certain event happened. Okay. So go ahead.
That the wind should not blow on the earth.
The wind is the destruction. All right. Go ahead.
Nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
See? And these angels were given orders to hurt the earth and the sea, to destroy it. All right? Now from there, go to loose step. Go to and let's show you how the angels protect us. Go and destroy our enemies. Go to Isaiah 37. Isaiah 37, and we're going to wrap it up from here. So these are the roles and the function of the angels. Isaiah 37, and start here from start from 35. Isaiah 37 and the 35th verse.
Read out the book of Isaiah, chapter 37 and 35. For I will defend this city to save it for mine own sake and for my servant David's sake.
See what the Most High does things? For his own name's sake and for David, his servant's sake. All right, continue.
Verse 36, then the angel of the other one went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses.
185,000 dead Assyrian soldiers. That's a big army. Right? And that's what the angel did. Go ahead.
Verse 37, so Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt in Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adramelech, and Sharezer, his son, smote him with the sword. And they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon. His son reigned in his stead.
Everybody know where's Armenia, right? Everybody know where's Armenia? It's in Turkey. All right. Go to 2 Samuel. I want to show you something about David too. 2 Samuel, the 24th chapter. Second Samuel 24, and start from the 15th verse.
Read out the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 24, verse 15. So the Adawan sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed. And there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 7,000 men.
70.
Oh, so 70,000 men.
70,000 men. All right, go ahead.
And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Adawan repented of him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Adawan was by the threshing place of Araunah, the Jebusite. And David spake unto the Adawan when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thy hand, I pray thee, be against me and against my father's house.
All right, so you see how the angel kingdom and smote Israel because of what David did. All right, so from there, let's go to Revelation, the 16th chapter. Revelation 16 and 1.
Read now the book of Revelation, chapter 16, in verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, Go your ways, and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth.
All right, so this the angels now bringing destruction and judgment. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2, And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there felt a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast.
See, going back to that again. The Most High is against anybody that take that mark of the beast. Okay? And what it says, read that second verse again.
Read out of Revelation chapter 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there felt a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship the beast, his image.
Mm-hmm.
And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea.
Right. So what is that? What's in the sea that's causing the fish and everything to die in the sea?
Nuclear radiation.
Toxic chemicals, waste, nuclear radiation. All right? All the filth that they're dumping into the ocean and the seas. The seas are polluted, man. Okay? Remember when they had that tsunami in Japan back in 2010? And that nuclear reactor, that nuclear reactor spilled a lot of radiation into the sea. And all that radiation is still in the sea. No, it was in Japan in 2010. Yeah. There was a tsunami in 2010, and that tsunami rocked and destroyed the nuclear reactors. Fukushima. Right? And all that radiation went into the sea. And they kept that thing kind of hush-hush. All right? Continue.
And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Adawan.
So there's an angel over the waters, okay, that's causing that to happen too. That's bringing forth that destruction. Continue.
Which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink.
And that's what the Most High is doing, just like in Egypt. Why did the Most High turn the rivers in Egypt blood? Because the Egyptians were killing us and throwing our young ones into the river. So the Most High said, oh yeah, I'm going to make mockery of you. I'm going to give you blood to drink. And since your river is your God, I'm going to defile your God. And the Most High turned the river to blood, because they killed and threw the young men, the young babies into the river. And the crocodiles ate them. All right? The Egyptians were a bunch of devils too.
And even bringing it up to date, they was doing that in Florida.
In Florida too.
With our babies.
With alligator babies.
Yeah.
Gator babies. All right? So all the dirt that they did to us, the Most High is doing it back to them. He's going to give them blood to drink now for what they did to us. Okay? And a lot of lands and highways that you see in this country were highways that belong to black people, and they kill a lot of black people and dump them in those areas, man. And one area, they kill a lot of black people, a lot of us, and they build a big river over it.
Even the reservoir, Central Park.
Yeah, certain reservoirs in Central Park too. This devil did a lot of dirt to us, man, that we don't know about, man. And that's why when the Most High bring the destruction upon this place, anybody that's talking, why? You're going to be put to death too.
Right.
Let the Most High do his job.
That's right.
Talking about, why God's going to destroy this country? You don't know. So be quiet. Okay? The dirt they did to us, man, from the time we were brought here up until this day, they have to pay for all of that, man.
That's right.
They're not going unpunished. All right? Go ahead.
For they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar say, even so, Adawan, power almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun.
See? And the angels poured out his wrath upon the sun.
And power was given unto him to scorch men with fire.
Yeah. So they're dying of what? Melanoma, skin cancer. All right? They burn up in that sun. Okay, go ahead.
And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of Yahweh, which hath power over these plagues.
See, who have power over these plagues? The Most High and the angels. Okay, go ahead.
And they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
All right, and you know where's the seat of the beast, right? We're living in the seat of the beast. All right, go ahead.
And his kingdom was full of darkness.
Yeah, his kingdom is full of darkness right now. Go ahead.
And they gnawed their tongues for pain and blasphemed the power of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
That's happening right now. That's happening right now. The Euphrates River is dry. It's about not too far from being completely dry.
Right.
But it's there.
Right.
Okay, just like back in the summer, you see all the rivers in the Danube. The river in China was being dried up. Even the Mississippi River being dried up. Lake Mead. Right? All these rivers being dried because that's the angels pouring out the vial of the Most High's wrath. And when that Euphrates is finally dried up completely, then you're going to see what's come to pass. Then you're going to see those troops marching over the Euphrates, coming from Russia and China for this great war.
Valley of Jehoshaphat.
In the Valley of Jehoshaphat. We're not too far off from that. We're not too far. With this escalation in Ukraine, it's going to build up to that. Okay? With the United States giving Ukraine M1 tanks, and the Germans giving the new Leopard tanks, it's going to escalate this war. Okay? It's not going to decrease. It's going to be a build up. And Putin already said, if the Western world think they could continue with this, he said Berlin will turn into a radioactive dust cloud. That's big talk. That's not no bluffing words.
That's right.
Radioactive dust cloud is nuclear fallout. All right? So that's big talk, man. All right? So NATO is already involved in this war. They can't turn it back now. Okay? The United States is involved in this war too. Okay? Continue.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Right. Russia and China. Those are the kings of the east. The way of those kings is going to be prepared for this battle.
Let me read that again, Ben.
And that's why you can't, that's why Moab, China can't be Moab. China can't be Moab. All right? Because they're the kings of the east. That's China, that great military. The Most High said Moab will be a feeble and weak nation. Moab wasn't going to be a powerful nation like China. China is a powerful nation. Okay, read again, LeBron.
Read now to Revelation chapter 16, verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
And it's being prepared. Russia and China are working together. They're partners. That's Gog and Magog.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 13, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
Who's the false prophet? Anybody know who's the false prophet? Let's go back. Look. It says, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. Who's the dragon?
Satan.
Satan. All right. And out of the mouth of the beast. Who's the beast? Along with the Antichrist. All right. And out of the mouth of the false prophet. Who's the false prophet?
Pope.
The popes.
Pope.
The Vatican.
Yeah, same thing here.
All right. That entire Roman Catholic Church.
That's right.
And all the religions that follow under the Pope. All right? Continue.
Verse 14, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day, the Most High Almighty.
And that day is coming up very soon. We're not too far from that day. All right? Continue.
Verse 15, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed he that watches and keepeth his garments.
What is your garments? Right. It's not so much a garment you're wearing.
That's right.
He said, read it again. It says, blessed is he that
Blessed
watcheth.
is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
Your garments, yourself, your soul, your spirit.
Right.
All right?
Lest
Keep yourself in the knowledge, in the commandments of the Most High. That's your garments. Not so much a garment that you have on. All right? Go ahead.
Lest he walk naked.
Lest you walk naked. It's not talking about you walking physically naked. Lest you walk naked, not having the understanding and the truth of the Most High. You become naked. Those people out in the world, they're naked because they don't have the truth. They don't have that garment on them. So they're naked. We don't want to be naked. We're clothed with the truth of righteousness. That's right. All right?
And this backs up what we're saying in Genesis with Adam and Eve.
Right.
This is how they was naked.
Right.
In this last precept, it said, and they see his shame.
Right.
Their shame was
The shame was manifested.
Right.
Adam and Eve became ashamed because the Most High exposed them. They were exposed for what they did.
That's right.
So they became naked.
That's right.
Because all they knew was righteousness. They were innocent until they became guilty and aware of the sin that they committed. So they became ashamed and they became naked, exposed to their surroundings.
That's right.
All right? That's how they became naked and ashamed. Their surroundings. The Most High exposed them for what they did. Then they try to hide their sin. All right? Hold that real quick. Let me show you.
Let's open up a can.
Yeah, open a can of worms.
Open up a can.
Let's go to the book of Job. The book of Job. Job and one second. Yeah. So again, what you said?
31 and 33.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right.
You put them on
That's
blast.
That's it.
Put them right on blast. I read out of Job chapter 31, verse 33. If I covered my transgression as Adam.
See, as I covered my transgressions as Adam, Go ahead.
By hiding my iniquity in my bosom.
See, by trying to hide his sins, by trying to cover it up, like conceal it from the Most High. He tried to hide what he did.
Mike.
All right? He trying to hide what he did. Just like if you caught, if your mom said, son, don't you touch those cookies up there. And your mom went outside, and then she came in and saw you in the cookie jar, stuff in your mouth, and you're like, Mom caught you, what you gonna do? You're gonna feel like, oh shucks, mommy caught me stealing the cookies. And she told me not to eat the cookies. So now you're exposed, you're shamed.
Right.
Because you were told not to do it, and then you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar. And some in your pocket, and stuff in your mouth. You can't say, oh, it's not me. You got caught. That's the same thing with Adam. So read that verse again, La Brian.
Read out of Job chapter 31, verse 33. If I covered my transgression as Adam, by hiding mine iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude, or did the contempt of families terrify me, that I kept silent and went not out of the door?
Right. So in the midst of that, Adam was shamed because he knew what the Most High told him not to do, and he did it. And he was exposed. All right? And then his wife was there too, so he looked more like a sucker.
Whoa.
Because your wife's gonna look at you and say, damn, you knew and you did the same thing? You know your wife's gonna look at you in a funny way. You look at you
like side eye?
You're like, damn, you got us in trouble. So then he passed the buck. No, it's a woman.
Yeah. It's the woman you gave me.
It's the woman you gave me. Now he's passing the buck. Then she said, no, it's a serpent. Everybody passing the buck now because they're exposed. All right? So that's what it meant by that. So let's go back to Revelation, all right?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to close out the class after this. Revelation, the 16th chapter.
16. Okay. Reading out the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 9. And when men were scorched with great heat. Wait a minute.
No, we
passed that. We had 13.
Yeah.
Verse 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty.
And why is this war is going to cause all nations to get involved? What's going to really trigger this war? What is the root cause that's going to trigger this war?
Oil.
Right. Or geopolitical movements. Everybody is vying for economical power in the earth.
That's right.
Whoever controls the resources of the earth is a top dog. Okay? And that's what it's about. Who's going to control the resources of water and all the resources that's in the earth. That's what it's about. Okay? Without economics, you don't have nothing. You have no power. Economics is the key to ruling the earth. Control of the resources of the earth. That's why it's a vital strategy for the United States to control all nations and have them under their banner so they could get their resources.
That's right.
You understand? China is trying their best now to get allegiance with other nations to get control of the resources. That's why they're in Africa now, trying to be good buddies with the Africans to get the resources. Because China doesn't have embassies around the world like America does, or military bases. America has bases, embassies, and diplomatic stations in every nation around the world, where they have connections to control the resources of the earth.
And military installations.
And military bases.
Yeah.
China doesn't have military bases all over the earth. America and Britain has the #1 military bases around the world. And even Russia has military bases around other nations. Cuba was going to be the launching pad. But Russia doesn't have military bases in all countries. But America, you could think about it, they have military bases in almost every country. Even in the Arab country, they have one of the largest military bases. And where is that military base in the Arab country? It's in Riyadh, over in Riyadh, over in Saudi Arabia, and in Qatar, over in Qatar. All right? They have military base over there. Okay? They have a military base where? Where else? In Japan, South Korea, in the Philippines. All right? Almost everywhere you can think of, the United States has military bases. All right? So it's going to drag all nations into this war for the economical resources of the earth. All right? Even though they're using their new technology, they still need that oil. That oil is still needed. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 15, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Right, and you don't want anybody to see your shame that you fell off from the truth. You didn't continue in the truth. All right, that's going to be a shame. All right, continue.
And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
And that's where they're going to be gathered, in the place called Armageddon. Okay, go ahead.
And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, it is done.
It is done. When that seventh angel finished, it's done. And that's the time we're approaching, because 7 is a completion with the Most High. Right. All right, continue.
And there were voices and thunders and lightning, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High.
See, the Most High is going to remember Babylon the Great. The Most High is not excluding her, as some of us might think. The Most High said, great Babylon came in remembrance. Go ahead.
To give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath.
So you see that? The Most High said to give her the cup of the wrath of the fierceness of his wrath. Babylon's reserved for that. All praises to the Most High. I'm not stopping that. I'm not standing in the way of saying, no, Most High, don't do that. Do your thing, the Most High. And any Negro that say that, stand in the way to say why he's going to destroy America, you're going to be the first to be silenced.
That's right. That's
okay?
Right.
There's a Negro out there called Peters. What's his name? A coon? No, this guy, Uncle Tom. Some Peters. His name is some Peters. I saw him was agreeing with DeSantis, when DeSantis put a ban on all African studies, and he said, yes, DeSantis, I'm agreeing with you. So, the rapper, he's a coon, man. He's a coon from the word go, man. All coons, you have your day coming, man. So continue being a good coon. Yeah. Huh? No, I forget. His name is some Peters. I forget his first name, though. But he's a real coon, man. A real coon.
Remember Lot's wife, Peters.
So all you coons, keep up the good work, because you're reserved for the day of judgment. All right, continue.
And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed Yahweh because of the plague of the hail.
Right, and that hail, that's about 75 pounds.
That's right.
When that drops in you, man, that's going to crush you, man. All right?
For the plague thereof was exceedingly great.
All right. So with that, I say shalom, and I end the class. And keep watching the events that's being unfolded, because it's building up to that great time of the deliverance of Israel and the destruction of the great whore and all world empires. Shalom.
Shalom.
That's what Satan told you to say.